And good morning. Button clicks out of order. All sorts of order out of order. It is Jay Clifton Payne. It happens to be Tuesday, August the 16th, 2022. I am here to provide for you things you might have heard in a sort of chaotic and almost nonsensical way. We're going to see getting through a lot of things today. It's the first day of school. Hooray. It's the other very special day today. We'll talk about that in a bit. But the special thing about today, as it is basically every single weekday morning, is I provide for you some news stories to get your day started. So take off for your coffee chat, your tea chat, not a coffee, your chat, whatever you want to do, your bus chat, wherever you want to chat in the morning, however you do your water cooler things, if you still got those things. So you will give you 9 stories a day that are stories that you deem interesting enough to talk about, stories you deem were good enough to put in here, plus some Twitter and some Facebook magic algorithm stuff. Check out our main website. This is conversationproject.com for more details on what's behind the Conversation Project, including a list of our sponsors, a way you can partner with us directly, and some things that we could ask you to do to help us out along the way. And with that, let's get on the way. Starting off with this news first story: manhunt for Aquib Talib's brother after he killed football coach in row over kids game. Now, I think I actually lost the report, so I can't. I had his name written in another story, so I don't see it right now. So, but this is a thing that's been boiling and took a while to boil over. Over the weekend, there was a football game, a kids football game. It might have even been a flag football game for all I could tell. But what happened out on the field was the only main reason why it became a big deal was Aquib Talib's brother shot somebody. Not him, because the first reports were like he actually shot somebody. No, his brother did, and you have various pieces of social media, posting videos from people because people video everything, just because you never know what happened to it. Yeah, there was a manhunt for him going over the weekend. He has turned himself in yesterday, and he is cooperating with police, still under investigation. One man was shot dead. A 40, I think he's 41-year-old, might be older than that, but a father and grandfather who was coaching a team was out there, and he was killed in a melee. Basically, there was a fight, a ruckus between some coaches and some referees, and in the struggle, a gun was pulled, a person was shot, craziness happened. We're going to go deeper into the story as we get more details, and I apologize for not being in a full source and having all my things up and going. I'm going to blame on Mr. Fish, who's actually behind me now, so that worked out not so great as well. We were going to work on Mr. Fish coming forward and just other things going forward. Hate to try to do the little joke thing in that little part because it really is sad and tragic, but this is something has become a phenomenon with parents just going crazy at games, and we're going to talk about that going further. Also, 3 shots at Six Flags Great America parking lot in Gurnee. Authorities say Six Flags Great America and Gurnee are in Illinois. So if I got that proper, we talked about Six Flags of they being a hotbed of just a hot mess because teenagers are showing up and hanging out, and not actual grown adults or kids who want to have fun. This is another instance of just something like that. We don't have the full details. Click the link inside of the description to get the full details on the story. We have stories of shots fired in parking lots of amusement parks all the time. So this is not necessarily a trendy thing going on, but this is something else that seems to be something that's trendy, if you will. Let's keep it going. This one. Weisselberg to plead guilty in Trump tax case. Alan Weisselberg is reportedly going to plead guilty in the tax case for Donald Trump. Now, is he doing it because he has guilt on his mind, or he knows he's going to get caught, or he's trying to protect Donald Trump? We're not quite sure, but right now we're expected in the next couple of days when he goes and he put a plea in deal for this case, he's going to go ahead and plead guilty, and then we'll kind of side chair arm quarterback from that in going forward. Metallica frontman James Hetfield files for divorce after 25 years of marriage. Pretty simple story. Click the link to go deeper into this if you'd like to. Some days we have great stories to tell. Some days not so great stories to tell. We post a news story every 50 minutes to our feeds and come up with 30 to 35 different stories throughout the day to choose from the top 15, of course. And so we've got to drop in a lot of things that may seem like they're interesting, may not be that interesting. Some things that are just sort of like we're putting things in there to see what happens. This is a story that pulled a lot of attention. I think it's just because it's Metallica and James Hetfield. Not a lot of coverage in many of the third tier news sources of this. No real coverage in any music source. A couple of blogs popping up here or there, but nothing big on this story. It seems like it's legit. Metallica frontman James Hetfield is getting divorced after being married for 25 years. We hope that the families are taking care of themselves in those cases. Spider-Man star Tom Holland announces social media break citing mental health. We're not sure if he cited this in his British voice or his American voice, but Tom Holland is saying that social media is toxic. It's kind of crazy, all the things going on, and he's taking a break from social media. Not from the world, not going to rehab. He's just dropping off social media. All the pressures of being Tom Holland is pretty big, especially when the world is on you and they have you in their pockets all the time, keeping up with you. So maybe it's time you took a break from social media because your mental health. Probably y'all could do something like that. Iran blames Salman Rushdie and supporters for a stabbing. Of course, Salman Rushdie stabbed on Friday, now on his long road to recovery, we're told. And Iran, who, of course, really did not like the man and pretty much put the bounty on his head for the Salik versus, basically says it's Salman Rushdie's fault for being Salman Rushdie and his supporters' fault for supporting Salman Rushdie for being Salman Rushdie. Basically, it's your damn fault somebody got on stage and stabbed you, because if you weren't, an evil person, somebody might not have got on stage and stabbed you. That's them talking, not me talking. That's the basic rhetoric that Iran has on this one. Basically, if you weren't out there being a jerk, nobody would have punched you in the face. That would be a defense that maybe, a Will Smith backer might have said, if you weren't telling jokes about Jada, Will Smith might not have walked on stage and punched you in the face. Or, maybe Will Smith could have had better sense of attention to where he was and not done something so stupid and rash because he's a brainwashed cyborg. Those words I did say. Capri Sun recalls thousands of pouches, possible cleaning solution contamination. That sounds bad, because it is. So check the link inside of our description so you can see where these Capri Suns have ended up, what their serial number is, and where you should do if you have them. We went school shopping the other day for lunch stuff. The kiddo JJ doesn't like Capri Sun. She prefers Kool-Aid Jammers, all cherries if she can get them. And they had very few of the pouch of the Capri Suns on the shelf, so there wasn't really an issue. But I know that a lot of people are buying Capri Sun specifically and pouch drinks as well, especially as school is kicking off, or in some parts here, some parts in the world. If you have these boxes of these Capri Sun brands, check out the link and see what you should do about that. Brittney Griner's defense team appeals verdict sentencing to her 9 years on drug smuggling. The Russian court system is being tested. Not sure how great of a test it is, even going to even matter. The Russian court system is being tested by Brittney Griner's defense team and her case, because she basically said, I brought in a couple of vapes that had cannabis oil in them. I didn't try to sell it. I didn't really use it while I was here. They were just in my bag because when I came to the States, and they just there. And because she has less than basically less than an ounce of actual cannabis oil in possession, she gets double the time because she's an American and she's famous and they can do that. That is what they do. So the actual legal system is being tested on this one. We will see if there'll be an actual workout where there's some sort of prisoner exchange coming forward. That's what basically what's going to happen. We knew she was going to be convicted before the prisoner exchange because that gave more leverage to the Russians to kind of do this. But we'll see how this plays out. Local TV giant Nexstar seals deal to buy 75% stake in CW, reshaping broadcast landscape. Now, this story goes deeper into what it says. Nexstar is a ownership group for TV stations and radio stations, are not owning so much networks, but owning actual local stations. They have a big swath of NBC stations. They happen to brand NBC for a lot of stations in their cases. They own a lot of the CWs. Back when I actually worked in television production and in broadcasting, they own essentially what the CW became, WBs and UPNs. They own a lot of independent stations going around. They own a lot of independent stations and put a lot of things on there. They're basically known for being a sort of wannabe conservative right-wing sort of push group to push a lot of things on their local stations. However, buying the stake in the CW is a big deal. They're going to basically make it profitable. And that's what they said. The CW makes no money, never made any money. And they pay a lot of money to things like The Flash and to Supergirl and those Arrowverse shows that people seem to love, but don't actually pay the bills. And that's a big reason why the Arrowverse and being broken up. Big reason why shows like Riverdale, which are really weird and attract young people, supposedly, are being canceled. Now, what they found out is the average age of a CW viewer is a person in their 50s, somewhere between 51 and 58 years old. So, yes, I am almost 50 years old, and yes, I love me some Nancy Drew. So there you have it. I'm essentially skewing the demo and what they're doing. They're making stuff for young people, and it's not young people watching it. It's not enough people watching, number one, and the people are pretty old. CW wants to get profitable. You'll see more things that are more in the line of cheaper TV, more in the line of things like Whose Line Is It Anyway, or things like Penn and Teller shows, where it's just a production type deal as opposed to large scale paying of actors and lights and people and best boys and key grips and all that stuff. Blasted through today, didn't we? That's what happens when you're in a panic and you have to get things going. Also in a panic, we had to pick something quickly to put in for a teaser. UK first to approve Omicron COVID shot with Moderna nod. So yes, the updated boosters are coming. The updated vaccines are coming. You should be seeing them in a theater, in a grocery store, in a COVID clinic near you soon. We can talk about this more. If you deem this conversational, you know what it does. You just engage in the story and you make it worth the talking about. We'll talk about engagement in just a minute. Right now, let's talk about our main story, or another story, which is not a story. It's actually money. We're going to talk about Robinhood. Robinhood is a simple investment platform that makes investment simple. They offer up they're offering a brand new crypto as we speak, opening up to more crypto so it becomes more of an exchange. Your Robinhood account is also a wallet where you can actually buy, sell, and trade with your crypto. They're offering actual dividends from your stocks and actual returns from your investments in your savings account, the money that's sitting aside waiting for investment. So it's worth holding on to money, even if you don't want to hold on to stocks. And it's as simple as a click to buy and sell fractional stocks. It's that simple. The market is doing what it's doing. Right now, the market's on a bit of an upturn, not quite rebounding yet, because like I said, I'm still down many percentage points for the year. But for the last 3 months, I'm up a couple $100. I'm up. It's growing. It's expanding. And I've bought a couple of new things that have actually been worth buying. You can check it out by going to thisistheconversationproject.com/Robinhood. They will still give you a free stock for signing up. And if you use our link, they give us a little bit of something for bringing you into the door. So check out Robinhood today. Let's check out our news sites, our websites, our places of note. Let's start off with our main website, which is, of course, thisistheconversationproject.com, the home of the Conversation Project, brought to you by More Bitter Media, LLC. Do more of that coming up. That is where we have housed the stuff in the vault of the Conversation Project and its prior names and all its prior things. You can check out old episodes of things you might have heard, or 8 things to talk about, or the weekly wrap up, or other things we've tried, and some things we're going to actually attempt to do coming soon. We have now working into the new schedule for back to school, and everyone has their own schedule again. So now we have to kind of shuffle some things, and we're going to see if we can implement some of these things that have been on the back burner for a while that you've been asking for, and we got them ready to go. Our feeds on Facebook and Twitter, facebook.com/thisistheconversationproject and twitter.com/th_conversation. Check it out as you see the stories posted every 50 minutes. Like them, love them, hate them, share them, engage in the stories, and that's how we know what we're talking about the next day or the full weekend on the Monday morning. On the TikTok at The Conversation Project. Hopefully we'll get back to doing more TikTok stuff. It's kind of fun, but it's also frustrating knowing that it's so much work and hard to get into. And The Conversation Project on YouTube. Make sure you follow us there 5 days a week. We give you this stuff. You make sure you subscribe and hit notifications. So at 5:50 or such, you get notifications that we're going live with this stuff. And we'll do more at Mr. Fish. Mr. Fish is having a moment. He may have to go. We have to swap the speaker. It's all sorts of stuff going on. Is he back there? I think he's back there. He's doing his thing. His contract is all sort of crazy. Yeah, Mr. Fish. He's just a diva. August 16th birthday is going on to Julie Newmar. Of course, the very first Batwoman from the Batwoman TV show. Also, Angela Bassett turning 64. Oh, Julie Newmar is 98 years old. Angela Bassett and Madonna, both 64 years old. And contrast that with what you got going on. If that doesn't blow your mind, I don't know what will. Oh, I know what will. Happy birthday to my beautiful wife, Christina with a K. And because it's her birthday, and because it is Bratwurst and Rum Day, I have a sinking suspicion that Bratwurst and rum may turn out on a grill and a plate or a table some today. That's a possibility. We're going to go with that. There was also like Smiles Day, but nobody wants Smiles Day. They want bratwurst, they want rum, so we put them together. Bratwurst Day and Rum Day. Check them both out. Today, this is a sleep study that is very hard to take in, so let's go with this very slowly. Does not sleeping for an extended period of time make you permanently psychotic? That's what research in 1968 set out to study when they kept 4 subjects awake for 205 hours. 205 hours. And by kept awake, I mean threatened to withhold compensation from everyone if anyone fell asleep during the trial. They used loud music, bright lights, and dunking heads into ice buckets as the subjects did everything in their power to keep from snoozing and losing out of earning $400 for 9 days without sleep. While the subjects hallucinated, complained about each other, and were generally pretty miserable throughout the study, the researchers did follow up a year later and decided that the 3 of the 4 subjects weren't really that different than they were before the study. One of the 4 couldn't be followed up with because he was on the run from the FBI. In the words of the researchers, we conclude that sleep deprivation per se is unable to produce psychological reactions with the extent beyond the period of sleep deprivation, which means long-term sleep deprivation doesn't necessarily make you crazy, but it makes you crazy while having long-term sleep deprivation. And don't run from the feds. That's all I could make out of that one. It's been a day. So we can call this a conclusion and call this a success because we did it. And we did it in record time. Tuesday, August 16, 2022. Stay hydrated, stay limber, stay on task, stay on with our feeds on Facebook and Twitter, stay on with our website and our newsletter so you don't miss a thing. Stay on with Mr. Fish. The trials and sagas of Mr. Fish, I think he's going back over there. I think so. Is going to be a thing because it is what it is. We love you guys. We're glad you're out there. We thank you so much for being a part of what we have going on here and helping us grow. All the comments, all the conversations, all the bad tidings as well are, warranted and granted and love to get in there. So thank you so much for all you do for us because we love doing what we're doing for you. I'm going to take advantage of a couple extra minutes and get some things done. As I say, first day of school, all that hubbub's going to happen. Hopefully you're enjoying your day. Let us know what we can do for you going forward. And happy birthday to Julie Lamar.